everyone, and welcome to Global Fact Trends. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating and surprisingly tumultuous world of rare earth elements. These elements, with their complicated names and even more complicated applications, are essential to our modern lives. But recently, something strange has been happening. The price of rare earth elements has been dropping, and not just a little bit, but dramatically. This price drop is sending ripples through global markets, forcing countries and companies to rethink their strategies. So buckle up as we explore the forces behind this price drop and uncover the implications it holds for the future. Okay, so first things first, let's demystify these so-called rare earth elements. Despite their name, they're not actually that rare. We find them in relatively abundant quantities in the Earth's crust. The rare part comes from the difficulty in extracting and processing them into usable forms. We're talking about 17 elements here, including tongue twisters like lanthanum, cerium, and neodymium. Never heard of them? Well, you've definitely interacted with them. See, rare earth elements are the secret sauce behind a ton of modern technologies. They're the reason your smartphone can vibrate, why your headphones can pump out those sick beats, and how some electric cars can even move. We're talking high-strength magnets in wind turbines, advanced battery technologies, even the phosphors that light up your TV screen. These elements are everywhere, quietly powering the technologies we often take for granted. They're also essential for a lot of military applications, from guidance systems and missiles to lasers and night vision goggles. This makes rare earth elements strategically important, and that's where things start to get really interesting. Because the ability to produce and control these elements translates into significant economic and geopolitical leverage. And for a long time, one country has held a bit of a monopoly on that leverage: China. China has been the dominant force in the rare earth element market for decades now. We're talking about a country that produces roughly 60% of the world's supply. That's a lot of power concentrated in one place. And like any good business person, China has used that power to influence global prices, often to the frustration of other countries. But recently, China has been playing a different game, and it's shaking things up big time. They've been ramping up their production of rare earth elements, flooding the market with more supply than demand can handle. Imagine turning on your faucet full blast and aiming it at a thimble. That's kind of what's happening here. This surge in production, while great for China's bottom line in the short term, is a major reason behind the recent price drop. It's economics 101, increase the supply and the price goes down. But this isn't just some abstract economic theory playing out on a spreadsheet. It has real-world consequences. The market is drowning in rare earth elements, and like any good flood, it's causing chaos and forcing everyone to scramble for higher ground. With prices plummeting, the entire industry is feeling the tremors. Companies that invested heavily in rare earth production, expecting those prices to stay high, are now facing some tough choices. Their investments aren't looking so hot anymore, and they're having to adjust their strategies just to stay afloat. But it's not just about the money. This flood of rare earths is exposing vulnerabilities in global supply chains. Countries and companies that relied heavily on a single source for these critical materials are now realizing that putting all their eggs in one basket might not have been the best idea. This is particularly true for industries that are essential for national security, like defense and aerospace. Relying on a single supplier, especially one with potentially competing geopolitical interests, suddenly seems a lot riskier when the price of these essential elements is in free fall. Chapter 4. The price of plenty: winners and losers. So, who benefits from this rare earth price drop, and who's left holding the short end of the stick? Well, like most things in economics, it's complicated. On the one hand, you have tech companies, especially those involved in renewable energy and electric vehicles. They're pretty happy about this whole situation. Lower prices for rare earths mean lower production costs, which could translate to cheaper solar panels, wind turbines, and maybe even electric cars down the line. Consumers, in theory, stand to benefit from this price drop as well. But on the other hand, you have the producers, the companies and countries that dug those mines, built those processing plants, and invested heavily in rare earth production. For them, this price drop is a major blow. Their profits are shrinking, and some are even struggling to stay in business. It's a stark reminder that even in the world of commodities, market forces can shift quickly, leaving some worse off while others reap the benefits. Chapter 6. The Scramble for Solutions, Diversification and Innovation. Necessity, as they say, is the mother of invention, and the current situation in the rare earth market is a pretty compelling reason to start inventing. We're seeing a global push for diversification, with countries and companies looking for alternative sources of rare earth elements. Places like Australia, Vietnam, and even Greenland are becoming increasingly attractive as potential suppliers. But finding new sources is only part of the solution. We also need to get better at what we already do. That means investing in more efficient and environmentally responsible mining and processing techniques. It also means getting serious about recycling. There's a gold mine, or should I say a rare earth mine, sitting in our landfills and electronic waste. We just need to figure out how to tap into it. And then there's the innovation front. Researchers and companies are working on developing alternatives to rare earth elements, materials that can perform the same functions without the same geopolitical baggage. It's a long shot, but if successful, it could fundamentally reshape the technological landscape. Chapter 7. A World Reshaped Global Implications. The ramifications of this rare earth price drop extend far beyond the balance sheets of mining companies. It's impacting global trade, influencing energy policies, and even shaping defense strategies. Countries are scrambling to secure their supply chains, forging new alliances, and reevaluating old ones. The energy sector is undergoing a massive transformation, with renewable energy sources like wind and solar playing an increasingly important role. But this transition relies heavily on rare earth elements, which means the current market instability could have significant implications for the future of clean energy. And then there's the geopolitical chess game. China's dominance in the rare earth market has given it significant leverage on the world stage. But as other countries develop their own production capabilities and explore alternative technologies, that leverage could diminish. How China chooses to respond to this shifting landscape could have profound implications for global stability. Chapter 8. The Uncertain Future of Rare Earths. So what does the future hold for rare earth elements? Will prices rebound, or are we witnessing a fundamental shift in the market? Honestly, it's still too early to say for sure. A lot depends on how things play out in China. Will they continue to flood the market, or will they ease up on production? And what about those alternative sources? Will they be able to ramp up production quickly and efficiently enough to challenge China's dominance? And perhaps most importantly, will we see breakthroughs in recycling and alternative technologies that could reduce our reliance on rare earths altogether? The answers to these questions will determine the shape of the rare earth market for years to come. One thing is for sure: the days of predictable pricing and stable supply chains are gone. The future of rare earths is uncertain, but it's sure to be interesting. The rare earth roller coaster, stay tuned. That's a wrap on the intriguing facts behind the rare earth element price drop. We hope you found this deep dive into the market dynamics and strategic shifts informative. It's a complex issue with far-reaching consequences, and it's something we'll likely be talking about for years to come. What are your thoughts on these developments? Are you concerned about the reliance on rare earths? Do you think we'll find viable alternatives? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating global facts.